All right, it says we're live. How are you guys doing? Good?
Doing well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to our week three collaboration. And today we're going to be talking about winter camp. So, oh, I'm hearing us twice again. So, can you hear it? No?
I can hear it coming twice out of someone else's. That's all.
From my
Yeah, I can
computer.
hear it from you, Casey. Yes.
Okay, let me fix that again. I need to learn how to do that quick fix. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see me? You can see me? I can't see you guys. Okay. All right. I promise I'll get better at this part. Okay, we are still live. Oh, and I'm twice again. All right, guys, can you introduce yourselves while I fix the...
Sure, yeah. Well, hello, my name is Morgan, also known as Teacher Morgan SWM. I am certified to teach levels 1 through levels 3, and I also teach a few of the winter camp certifications. I'm currently certified for Voice of VIP, which is the camp that I'm most comfortable in, sort of my jam, and I also do phonics and from words to sentences.
Okay, great. So my name is Cindy, and yeah, I was really surprised to find out that Cindy Me, a Cindy was the head of the whole company. I've always had a name that was very common, but I'm Cindy, not Cynthia. But I am certified for pretty much all the levels from voice of VIPKid all the way up to level 7. So I usually, have a whole variety of courses. I started out doing I think it was 3, 4, and 5, something like that. Or maybe it was 4 and 5, and then I added 2 and 3, something. It was totally different when I first started. And then I just kind of added the levels as I went along. And probably my specialty would be more the older kids, but I do enjoy the younger ones as well. And I wasn't going to certify for the winter camps because I'm like, I like the variety, but sometimes when you have the winter camps, you might teach one of those courses a week or something like that. So I do like a little bit of repeat so I can do the same thing twice every now and then. But then I just I had to get into it.
Certification hoarder.
Yes, oops, wow, glare. I just really wanted to, but now that I have, like this week, since we've had this thing coming up, this week I have done several of them. And just today I did 2 classes of the winter camp style. So it was really fun and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad that I did it. So,
Right.
and I also have an iPad group on Facebook that is kind of unique. So that's really fun. So that's who I am.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm Casey Oswald. I always forget that part. I'm probably one of the newbies at VIPKid. I just finished month 5. So waiting to sign my, second contract coming up. I'm also a new YouTuber following these guys that are on camera with me. I pretty much certify for everything I can. I am also a certification hoarder. I love the variety. I started off, actually, when I was certifying, I was waiting to get approved with all the background checks. So I certified for level 2, 3, and I thought, well, while I'm waiting, let me just go to 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. So before I signed my first contract, I actually certified 2, 3, 4, 5. while I was waiting. So that was pretty interesting. I think that's what helped me get a fresh start. I looked yesterday. I signed my contract August 7th and I started teaching August 8th. So I was
Wow.
very
Awesome.
fortunate. I had a very, very great start. So I'm very thankful. And it's been rolling ever since. And I just love it. So that's me. That's my VIP kid. Someday I think we have to start with our whys. Maybe on our next collaboration, we'll
Ooh,
do
that would be good.
our whys. So VIP Kid winter camp. I think we mentioned it in one of our other collaboration groups, but I didn't realize that there are so many courses that are lumped into this winter camp. So do you want to know the courses?
Sure.
Lay 'em on
Go
us.
ahead.
All right. I had to write them all out on my little sticky. So VIP Kids story time, certified or not certified? Such a VIP Kid teacher. Thumbs up. Okay.
Usually we learned from Evelyn that you're not supposed to do a thumbs down.
Sideways,
You're
right?
supposed to do like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It means something bad if you go like that. So
sorry, China.
a lot of people do it, so it's it's okay, but just
I will work on that one.
Yeah.
All right. From words to sentences. I'm certified in that one. I haven't taught that one, but it looks super cute.
It's adorable. I've taught 2, I've prepped 3, and I really enjoy that class. Yeah.
Oh, I want to do that one.
I'm thinking no for me on that one.
VIP Kid vocabulary. I'm certified, but I haven't taught it.
Same, certified, never taught it before.
Grammar. I get a lot of grammar.
I'm only 1 to 3, so I don't get to do all that many.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And leveled reading, I've gotten quite a few of those too. Not during this winter camp, but before. And phonics, I've got a bunch of phonics. Okay. Oh, voice of VIP Kid. I'm certified. I've only taught 1. So, free talk, I think. Okay. And the TOEFL primary.
TOEFL.
I've only taught 1 of them. And
what do you call it?
It said TOEFL.
TOEFL? I call it TOEFL. I don't know. Some of those words, I don't know if they have an official pronunciation. What do you call it, Morgan?
I don't call it anything because I don't teach it.
I call it TOEFL. I think it's TOEFL because the TOEFL is they take a test at some point to make it like to the next level of education, and it's a TOEFL test, and so you prepare them for that. Right. So yeah, so that, and it's a pretty important thing. Right. So, but I think so I think it's TOEFL. Yeah. And I am not certified for any of these, but want to really bad. The STEAM ones, dinos, power of the sun, health, and space. I'm doing power of the sun, health, not space, not space. And I didn't want to do dinosaurs because I'm not into the, the prehistoric type things. So
I would love to do dinosaurs. It brings me back to my 6th grade teachers of teaching me all about dinosaurs and science. My love of science came from middle school. I had amazing teachers, and so I just love it.
So why did you not certify for that?
You need level 6 advanced, and I've had level 6 basic for a very long time, but I've only taught 2 level 6s, I think. So yeah, I didn't get certified. And I'm a STEAM teacher. That's what I did at my last brick and mortar school. I ran the after school STEAM club.
Oh, cool.
So I would love the science ones, but.
Well, you might be disappointed because these aren't quite that involved really. Oh, really? But yeah, I was going to say in the summer, they'll probably come back. So, when I did level 6, well, when I did level 7, I had to do so many level 6s to qualify for level 7. And so you can always put in a ticket maybe to get more of that level so that you can get bumped up to the next one. And I don't know how they're doing it now, but yeah, I would put in a ticket and ask them for a few more level 6s so that you can qualify for the next thing. And I would do it kind of before the summer, because most likely these courses will come back in the summer, and then you'll be ready to go at the summer when they ask for them again.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so if I'm looking over here, it's because the iPad is here. I know you guys know, but the iPad is here, so I continually check the chat. If I'm down here writing, it's because I'm taking notes on what everybody says. So
good job.
That's the only way I can.
I am sitting not at my desk because I'm like, I'm going to sit in a comfy chair.
Nice.
And this is the same room. My studio thing is over there. And I'm loving this because this was my husband's study. And now I've taken it over.
That's great. And you've got your Nancy Taylor map in the background.
Yep. This is my second one that I got. This is I will be putting this in my regular background, but this is the second one that I got, and the other one I'm giving away. Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about backgrounds, I made my Chinese New Year background, but it doesn't pop like a lot of teachers' backgrounds pop. So I just printed out some of the red things in the teacher portal. So maybe I can get them to pop a little bit more. But so far the students have loved it, and they have loved my red envelopes.
Good.
So that's been fun.
What do you have in them?
All coins.
Oh, okay.
So some have 2, some have 3. And today, really quick, I know I'm off topic, but really quick, I was telling my husband that my student this morning, who is a super smart cookie, I said, did you like the envelopes? And he said, yes. I said, do you think other students will like it? And he said, yes, but can I make a suggestion? I said, okay. He said, number 6 should have 6 coins because 6 is a lucky Chinese New Year money, or lucky number for Chinese New Year. And I said, oh, okay. So little hint, my number 6 has 6 coins.
Good. I love it when kids help out.
So cute. Okay, so on to winter camp. Would you guys like to start with Voice of VIP?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Okay, I should tell you that I felt a lot better in level 1 and level Free Talk Collaboration than I do today. Not so confident because I just haven't taught a lot of the winter camp ones. So I'll let you guys have that Voice of VIP.
All right. Well, Voice of VIP is a certification meant mainly for your level 1 students through your level 2 students. There are 2 different levels of Voice of VIP. Level 1 is it's very simplistic, very short sentences, very repetitive. Level 2, the curriculum is more advanced. The words, like the sentences, the songs have many more words. The sentence frames that you're teaching are they're quite a bit longer, and also melodically it's a lot more interesting because level 1 was created by VIPKid for VIPKid. Level 2 utilizes, through their collaboration with Pinkfong, utilizes a lot of Pinkfong music. That also.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, Pinkfong is Baby Shark do 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 do. The people who made that.
Okay.
Yeah, with the little pink fox. They are a YouTube company out of, I'm gonna say, I think it's South Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, they make a lot of really popular videos that my children are addicted to. They discovered Baby Shark, and then they just got into this whole, like, they love all Pinkfong. Anyway, so the music is a lot more interesting than level 2. The sentence frames are a lot longer. And so I approach the way I teach level 2 a lot different than the way that I teach level 1. But I think that's kind of a decent overview. A lot of people don't realize that the program actually has 2 levels. Do you have any thoughts on it, Cindy?
Well, I just want to apologize because you talked about our why. I just got a text from my son at college. He is 20, and he just said, I just want to tell you that I love you. He's 20, and he wants to tell me about the girl he likes.
Love it.
But he's such a good kid.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that, we are real people living
Mhm.
life, and I have my phone right here, and he's not very communicative. So if he texts me, I get kind of brace myself for, what could be happening. But when he said,
Mhm.
"I love you," I'm like, oh. So back to business.
You got to meet my 21-year-old. I'm the same.
Yeah. I want to do as well. My son has started a podcast, so I will be sharing that with you guys too. That yeah, he's doing a good job. But anyway, back to work. Voice of VIP Kid. I had no idea because I don't have little kids. I have done I Can Clap. I've done the Food Ninja. I don't know how many of the classes are there?
I'll let you know. I wrote that down on almost all of the winter camps except this one.
Okay. I was just wondering because I wanted to do one recently. I had a student that booked for one and then she canceled. So that was kind of a bummer. But I do love them, but I'm not a professional. Like I just do, I follow the lesson and I figure we're working on working together. We're working on some pronunciation. And it's a lot of action and it's a lot of repeating. So you just have to be like, here we go. We're going to say this, 55 times in 25 minutes. And that's just what it is. It's just, I listen to the songs ahead of time because I don't sing them all the time. So I will listen to them ahead of time. I know what's going to happen. I get a few props and I do stand. Like I wouldn't attempt, personally, I can stand. I have a standing desk.
Yes.
And I think it's better to do this standing. I don't know what else to say about it.
I agree. Standing for Voice of VIP Kid and level ones, I need to be able to move and dance and sing. Now, Morgan, you have a music background, right?
I do. Yes, I have a kindergarten through 12th grade music degree. I'm really tired. I almost said like something certification, something weird. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I have a K-12 music education degree.
Great.
Yeah.
So in my experience with mine, I don't even remember what song because I was so super nervous that like mom was going to be right there watching me and that I don't even remember which song it was. All I remember is my little Bow Bow did not participate at all. Would not sing and just sat there like,
oh no.
So it was a tough class. Morgan, do you have any tips or tricks to get kids to join in with you?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, when you're teaching Voice of VIP, you have to remember that it is a winter camp, and there it sort of goes into we have the winter camps that are a lot more fun, that indulge a kid's interests, and that's one of these. And then we also have ones that are more like rigorous, like, from words to sentences, you're really burrowing down and trying to increase the student's ability for their major courses. But I feel like Voice of VIP Kid is really supposed to be more like that ice cream, more like that treat. So I always, first of all, approach the class differently than I approach a major course. I know I'm sitting down right now, but my desk raises up and I teach all of my classes standing. I'm just tired right now. So I always stand. I am not a headband teacher. I do not typically wear a headsband. I wear a headband or a wig for every single voice class that I teach. So it gets me in a different mindset. It gets me in a different headspace. And then hopefully it gets the student in a different headspace as well. Other things that I do, I like to try and keep the kids singing as much as possible. I've heard of teachers getting negative reviews because they approach this class a lot like a major course. You should not have your student spelling in these classes. That is one complaint that I have seen another teacher receive from a parent. That teacher really was focusing on spelling, and that is not really singing related. So focusing, of course, on the words, making sure that they're pronouncing the words correctly, but you can also teach those words through music. So for example, if on the page that it wants you to practice, I can clap, I can clap, I can clap. Well, that's a sentence in the song, so teach it. I can clap. Get the students singing even before you've reached the song slide, as much as possible, involving your body, involving a rhythmic sort of movement as much as possible, just really trying to engage the musicality, because the reason why the students signed up for this class is probably one of two reasons. The first reason is that that child is interested in music, and a lot of students, I mean, they maybe don't know you, because for the most part, if a student is signing up for a winter course, it is sort of random. You get who you get and you don't throw a fit. So you are not a teacher that they have established a relationship
Oh.
with.
So
you
they
want,
don't pick the teacher?
they do not, for the most
Oh.
part. Now, if you get signed up for a winter course with one of your regular students, what you've probably noticed is that they signed up for a major course with you. Then shortly after signing up for that major course, they cancel it, and then it gets re-put in as a winter course. That's because they saved their time in your schedule, then contacted their LP, and the LP had to do the actual booking. When they book, it's actually completely automated. I used to think the LP did a booking. I saw on a Facebook group
Interesting.
recently that it is actually just automated by the they click a button and they find the computer finds a teacher that is certified that has an opening, and that's how they get it. So they don't necessarily have a relationship with you, and it's very hard. Singing is a very personal and private thing, and so you really want to make the student feel comfortable and feel at home with you, so that it's a safe space for them to sing with you. Yes.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So are the STEAM classes are automated too? Like they're going to get all different teachers for all 4 of the classes?
I don't teach STEAM, so I don't know from like personal experience, but since STEAM is a winter course, the winter courses generally are.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if I just made a mistake then, because I noticed that one of my regulars started taking some winter courses, in the feedback. I saw it, and he booked with me, but he priority books at like hours that I only teach him because I like him.
Right.
So I have it checked that if he cancels, the slot closes. So I wonder, he booked and then canceled. I wonder if he was trying to get in his winter camp, but
that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Cindy, I think your question was how many lessons in VIPKid?
In voice of, yeah.
It says it's broken down into 8 lessons. So
2 units of 8 lessons.
Movements, food, feelings, animals, people around me, home, transportation, colors and shapes. I think I did colors and shapes. Maybe.
I think I did that one too, but it's been a while.
Yeah. So I do like, for anyone that doesn't know, the voice of VIPKid has a pre-class video. So Cindy had mentioned it before. I think those are very much worthwhile to watch, and especially for, musically challenged teachers that just love to dance and sing, but are not so good at it. It's an easy way to pick up the song. So, okay, should we move on? Anything else about Voice of VIP? Yeah.
I just really quickly wanted to mention the other reason why students might sign up is because the parents might have signed them up because at the culmination of the class, then they record themselves singing the song, and that recording then the parents can post on WeChat. So it's sort of a parent brag. So, and I mean, nothing wrong with parent brags. I'm all about parent brags. My 3 kids are amazing, right? But I mean, so you might sometimes come across that thing where the parent is like, this sounds really neat. This sounds like a great thing for me to post on social media, and maybe the kid's not into it. I literally had a kid with staples trying to push staples into their lower lip. That was actually the first Voice of VIPKid class I ever taught, like 4 contracts ago. Anyway, so going back, I think I tangented, and I apologize for that. But your initial question that you had asked me was, how do you get students involved who are quieter? And so that in that case, it would be, well, maybe it wasn't the student's choice to be in there. So just try and meet them where they're at and have as much fun as you can trying to meet the course objectives. And now I will stop talking.
Oh no, on that note, she still laughed and giggled at me. She just did not want to sing.
Right.
Yeah.
Cindy, yes.
I just wanted to say I do have the Food Ninja, like very on YouTube, I put part of my Food Ninja thing, and I felt like it was, I mean, the class went really well. The student loved it. And I think that's the main thing, is sometimes we can concentrate on what we're doing so much, we forget the whole thing isn't about us doing it perfectly. It's
Right.
about them enjoying the class and them meeting their objectives. And if your student is having a good time and participating with you and loves you, like, you know, you've accomplished what you needed to do. Like I didn't have a black headband at the time, so I just grabbed one of my colorful bands, and I felt like it made it look like, you know, random, like we're just having fun. So, you know, there are different styles and different ways of doing it, but the main thing is to get the objectives done for your student. And I would say, if your student is not participating and they're not doing it, and you're going, and they're just not coming with you, like sometimes I'll go like this, you know, and see if they'll do it. But if they don't, then you just do what you can, try and pull it out of them, and then you're a TV show. You know, you just do it, you know, like how do they do it on TV where they are not even engaging with the student, and the student gets up and, you know, does their thing. Some kids will, some kids won't. So I just wanted to mention that I do have an example on YouTube, and it's very primitive, but you're interested.
I pretty much watch them all so I can learn from other teachers. So, okay, let's see. Oh, yay. Thanks, Morgan. Now, I think if you get a chance to post it in the YouTube chat, that way there people can
Okay.
can click on it from there, or then I can copy it from there and put it in the descriptions too. So good. Okay, so let's do, what do you think? Power of the Sun, Cindy? You ready for that one? You're the only one that knows about that one.
Okay, this one, I was really excited about it. It is more about, like, what can the sun do for us? Like, you know, it's not really about the sun itself. It's more like the technology with the sun. So I was really a little nervous, because if your student is not speaking well, like, how do you do this, you know? And so it went, I had a couple of those classes and they went pretty well. The student, my first one went very well. The student pretty much knew everything, was just reading through. And I think we need to remember that we're not actually teaching the concepts, because they learn these things in school. We're teaching the English words that go with the concepts. And I think a lot of times people get hung up on the fact, they think I'm the teacher, and if they don't get this information today, you know, I'm doomed. And it's not about that. It's about you teaching the words, and they probably know beyond what we are teaching for English words. They probably know in Chinese, is what I'm assuming. And so you're teaching them the English words that go with the concept. So sometimes, you know, ask them questions beyond what even the materials present. And so I learned from the students, but I do try to have a few props available. I have used my phone to look up pictures of different things that are in the materials that aren't really in Google Slides or whatever. So I would just like look up a picture and do a screenshot of that type of thing, like the sun, you know, solar panels. It talks about like clean energy and dirty energy, that kind of thing. And so, you know, those are my thoughts, is don't feel like you, and then when the grammar is presented, don't feel like this is do or die. You know, you are reviewing the information with them, and they will see it again from, you know, in another way. So don't feel like it's all up to you in 25 minutes. So, but it's interesting, and the kids are, you know, I enjoy it because they do have a different perspective, because they don't, you know, they do have the pollution problems and things like that. So they are more concerned. I live out in the country, so my kids aren't as concerned about smog as the kids in China and things like that. So
True. Yeah.
yeah.
So Danny is agreeing with you. Always want to check for the comprehension of the words. And she said she loves all their environmental lessons. So Danny, if you're still on, are you certified Power of the Sun? We'll see what she says in the chat over here. Cindy, I had a question for you about props. Oh, you had mentioned that there was something you thought you may need to teach Power of the Sun.
Oh,
Did you
yes,
need
that's
it?
another one. A light meter. Like you can tell my light is really weird in here because I have a curtain over here. But yeah, I did write a note to the LP. I was going to send in the ticket, but I did talk to, someone on one of the groups said that for the winter camp classes, they were sent a kit with materials in them for like a biology and things like that. But my students did not tell me. They said both of the classes I did, they said they did not have a light meter. But someone else said that maybe they would get them in a kit. But I haven't seen any more information about that, and I haven't taught a second one yet.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was kind of weird to ask them to have a light meter and the kids knew nothing about it. One girl said that she would ask her teacher. So.
Oh, thank you, Danny. Danny said she's not certified in Power of the Sun, but she does love all their environmental lessons. So, okay. Anything else with Power of the Sun? I am just like itching to show you guys my STEAM kit. Well, my STEM kit. Because when we're doing all the different levels, I'll pull this out when we do other levels, but I have a whole thing on bees and it's all kid friendly. I use this in my, K through 2 club, sound, and I think the sun is in here. So let's bring on some science.
Yeah, like I'm saying, they're not talking about like the size of the sun, how hot it is, how far it is, that kind of stuff. It's more like environmental and solar panels and what you gain from the sun type of thing, solar energy.
Yeah. Level 5 has a bunch of science though, so I get to do all the insects and things like that. So love it. Okay, well, how about story time? Story time. I love story time. So story time is for level 3 and 4 students, or MC level 3 and 4 students. There are 2 stories for each entry point. So there's a few entry points where they can join. So if they're in, level 3, level unit, whatever, they can enter at this point with this certain story. And I'm not sure if Morgan, you said you don't have this one, right? Okay, so there is an A, B, and C lessons for each lesson. Does that make sense? So what am I trying to say, Cindy? A, you do the warm up, the picture walk with the story. So it's the same story, but the first time you teach it is A. So they do the picture walk and then the questions and then extensive listening. So I get to read with, expression and everything. I love it. I did 3 Billy Goats Gruff or 3 Billy Goats. And then there's post questions. And then for a B, instead of doing the picture walk in the beginning stuff, you start with echo reading. So I read, you read, text structures in there. And then I believe popcorn reading is at B also. So you read and then you stop and then they pop in to start reading. And
what are the code levels? What's the letters at the beginning of the story time? MC is for main course. Is it VST?
I think so.
VST. What's VOC? Oh, that must be it.
Maybe vocabulary?
I can look.
All don't know, maybe vocabulary. I'm just guessing here based on what I have in front of
Okay,
me.
probably that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But I loved story time. I love to read. The kids listen, and then depending on the level, because it's like 60 something slides, so it looks a little overwhelming. But depending on the level, I read the first time through, we talk about the story, we ask questions, and then the whole story comes up again on each slide. And depending on the level of student, either they read or I read. So
All right, so this is story time level what?
they're MC levels 3 and 4.
Okay. Because I did another story, I believe it was story time, where it's a similar setup, but it's definitely like I have 3 Billy Goats Gruff tonight, but there's another, I'm trying to look for the code.
It should say it on here.
LRC is for the health.
LRC is not leveled reading?
Leveled reading. Okay, that's what that is.
I think.
Leveled reading. Okay, so that might be what I'm thinking of as far as leveled reading. Okay, so I guess my first story time is tonight.
Oh,
so
fun.
I was thinking of leveled reading for that.
Now, in I believe in the story time, if you go back to the certification area, they have a place to print story cards and things. So it'll pull up, it'll be in your shared Google or their shared Google Drive, and you can pull up some materials to help you. So yeah, story time was super fun. I liked it. And
Did
their
you
stories
use all their stuff? Did you print everything out?
I didn't, because when I kept clicking on it, it said that I wasn't logged into my Google Drive, even though I was. I had the same problem with Google, something with Morgan the other day for the level 1 group. So it's got to be something on my end that I have to figure out. But I was able to just Google 3 Billy Goats and print out some little Billy Goats. They're around here somewhere, my little Billy Goats. And I put, you want to see? So I had these, and
oh, nice.
The Billy Goats walked across. We talked about why they were going across, and the troll. So it was super cute. Yeah. But that was a quick, like, before class, I was like, oh, I need something. So I just quickly threw that together, put it on my magnet board, and done. So
did you use a reward for the lesson other than the stars?
Yeah, I use a reward for every lesson. That's just part of my.
So what did you use for those? What reward?
Oh, probably whatever is in front of me. A lot of times they like these, my Find a Stars that I use, bought it on Teacher Pay Teachers. And usually the kids will ask me for these. So I'm like, oh, red envelopes. All of them wanted the red envelopes except one between yesterday and today. He wanted to Find a Star. So I have some, I'm like, ooh, ice cream, Find a Star. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering because sometimes I feel like there's a lot of content and I can't remember what I used today, but I was like, I really don't want to deal with this because we were having fun and it feels like I'm all about rewards in main courses, but it seems like with these, there's so much more content that giving a reward is just taking more time and I want to get through all the work. And it is fun because it's different than the normal everyday main course stuff. So I was just curious how you were doing it.
I think you taught me about drawing the snowman.
Yeah, that's good too.
A student was late the other day and the snowman was so fast because it's a magnet board and I draw and I'm like, how many snowballs? You know, that's how I started.
And the dino is what I like, the dino that I did the dino the other day. I didn't realize I did Rain Rain Go Away and it says dino bumped his head and he went, is it say dino in the thing? I think it does. And so I drew a picture of Dino like sleeping and he thought that was really cute. And on the end slide, I said, draw a picture of Dino. I was going for the upright Dino, but he drew it laying down, sleeping again. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, that is a good thing. But like I said, at main courses, I have no problem.
Yeah.
But with the extra special courses, I feel like that's when I feel bogged down with the extra rewards. So I might just do, like, I did do the hung bao a lot, and I have money and candy and different things. I just use one envelope and I bring out different things out of the one envelope, you
Right.
know, so.
I was just checking the chat over here.
Yeah, sure.
It's still on topic. Danny does say that she thinks it's important for them to hear us read. I totally agree with that too. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
read for a student today because she had the health course. It was the level reading, evidently. And she just read it really well, but I wanted her to see there was some conversation in it. It wasn't really, I wasn't supposed to read it as part of the lesson, but I read it and she just was like, that was so good. It was so funny. I didn't expect it. It was really cute. So it is fun. They're great.
I don't know if it's because I'm newer. I don't know what you think, Morgan, but I'm nervous to not do an extra reward. I am so nervous for negative feedback that it, you know, I make sure to do it.
There's a good reason that you're feeling nervous. It's because if you get some less than, 5 apples and the parents list that you had a reward system issue, if you didn't do a reward system, then that's not
Yes.
going to get overturned. So it's
Yeah.
really something that you should do as a cover your butt thing. But as Cindy is saying, some of these classes, they are so intense that you don't want to have a very involved reward. That's when it's helpful to just have a set of stars, just slap the stars up. I do Google Slides, and if I know that it's a very involved, especially pacing with level 3, I tend to get into very deep conversations with my kids and go to 28 minutes. So I tend to pick my rewards to be something where I just click something happens, I hit the star button, we move on. But yes, you should always give rewards every time. There are some teachers who don't do it, and as an independent contractor, that is 100% you're right. Just be aware that if you do not do it, then VIPKid has the right to not overturn those negative Apple reviews. So
true.
I actually have one. I actually have one of those. The woman gave me 3 apples and said reward problem. That's the only thing she said was wrong with my class. And I totally did have a reward in it. Like, it was so obvious. So they did overturn it, but it stays when they overturn a bad feedback. It stays on your stats, even though it doesn't count in your average. It stays. I don't know who can see it, but it bothers me because I'm like, that should be brought to 0. You invalidated it, know. But some parents are just, a little more strict, I think. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I just say that they're more strict. And she said I had a reward problem, and that was totally not the case. So I always do a reward, and I'm all for it. But like I said, these classes, I find it a little, and this is older kids, what I'm talking about, like the little kids, I know that they really need that and they can't wait for it. And sometimes they don't even care about the reward. They just want the stars. So, they are saving those stars. Some of the older kids, I'll be like, do you do anything with the stars? Because I'll give them a star and they're like, thank you. And they're like, no, I don't really do anything with the stars. So the older kids, it's kind of like a formality. But
for newer teachers, something you guys can do is something that Evelyn gave me these, and she used wrapping paper and laminated them, and she took 5 of them, put magnets on the back, and it is a super quick reward. These little whiteboards at Walmart were like $1.98 or something, $1 something, and I just put them on here. I've got 5 of each, and they're super easy. So if you need a quick reward, that is super, super easy. So, all right. We've been on here for a little while, but I did want to mention, we haven't talked about words to sentences yet, right?
I haven't done that one.
I haven't either, but Morgan has, right?
Oh,
Morgan?
Good.
Yes. So from words to sentences is very fun. It's a very interactive class. And what I've discovered is that the students generally understand what they're doing prior to you coming in. So the format for words to sentences is actually that you are one of 2 teachers. They have a teacher in China who speaks English to them. So they have one class with their Chinese teacher, and then they have one class with you. Their class with their teacher from China is an hour long. In that class, they learn the vocabulary words and the basic idea of what they're supposed to be doing. In their class with you, they are practicing what they have learned from their initial teacher, and they're also listening to you to get the inflection in your voice, where you pause, all that sort of thing, as well as making sure that their pronunciation is correct. I do a lot of correcting of vowels, especially in these courses, but it's very formulaic. So you start with a very short sentences. Sorry, I teach English. You start with a very short sentence, such as it is a cat. Then you would go into like, it is a small cat. It is a small, funny cat. It is a small, funny, black and white cat. So with each time that you go through the sentence frame, it gets one adjective longer until you have a very full sentence. And the class is built in. It has its own break where you give stars. So be aware of that. Also, the classes have about 60, possibly more than 60 slides. When a teacher sees that, it can feel very overwhelming. However, because it is much more interactive and it includes those star breaks, in the pacing in the teacher notes, it tells you to spend, 0.5 minutes or spend 1 minute between slides, and then it'll give you a range of 3 slides that you need to spend 1 minute on. So the teacher tips you really need to pay attention to, because otherwise, if you're thinking about your major course pacing, you're used to doing for levels 2 and above 1 minute per slide. And if you do that, then you are going to run exceedingly late. What I've seen is that if your student has been really diligent and works really hard, they are going to really click through this curriculum pretty well, pretty quickly. So it's good to have a reward that matches along with the curriculum. So if you're doing the one that's about stationery, you should have some sort of stationery reward that you can extend with. Bring some of your own props that fit in with the topic, so that at the end they can practice their long sentence frames with your props, because it gives them a lot of hints in the lesson. So it's really good to give them that extra time at the end where they don't have the floaties and the water wings that the curriculum provides. They don't have anything else supporting them. It's all their own memory. And obviously you support them but it's a good way for you to see how much of the information they really learned, and then in teacher to teacher feedback, and then also in the feedback to the parents, let them know what they can practice, because you've been able to see with the extension what they truly know and maybe what they were getting through hints in the slides. So it's a really fun class. There's a lot of clicking to make certain things happen, make certain animations appear. There's a lot of really adorable dino pictures, which, you know me, I'm all about the dino pictures. So yeah, I think it's just a really great class, and a really great way to make sure that students are able to use the English language in a deeper way, even at your younger levels, like your level 2 and your level 3 students.
Good. So some of the notes I wrote down about from words to sentences, it's designed for levels 2 and 3, so ages 7 to 9. And there's a pre-class song also for this one. So I watched one of them, which was toys, I think is on the curriculum page where you're getting your certification.
Yeah.
And it talks about, first you do a presentation and you talk about a birthday party and the toys that they get, and you kind of guess what it can be. But I did like that there's like balloon popping, there's a hammer to like hit the eggs, to break the eggs, to find out what's in there. There's sorting. So I did like that there was a lot of interactive, but also some new interactive, at least new to me. So yes, I would really like to get some from words to sentences.
Are you certified for that?
I am, yes, but I haven't gotten any.
So are the interactives something that you've already practiced, or are they like surprise is in the lesson?
For the kids, like, I don't think they've ever used the hammer, at least in any of the ones I've taught.
But like Morgan, when you've taught the lesson, are you know ahead of time what's coming up and stuff like that?
Yeah, I always preview the lesson before you teach it.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing today. I did it when I was certifying for it, but then today I went back to refresh my memory and, used the hammer and got to hit it. And so.
Okay. Well, I had one lesson today that I didn't realize that one of the I mean, I've done a lot of lessons where they pull out the definition, but this one was a different shape and I didn't realize that there was a pull out. But I mean, I didn't make it obvious, but you know, it was a couple slides in and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to pull that out. So it was just a different shape. Usually it's like a little flag and this one was like a triangle. So it looked like part of the page. I didn't realize it was a pull out. So
I've done that. So, wow, guys, we've had some great discussions and there are so many more that we could talk about, but we are at 52 minutes. I think we're going to have to do a winter camp part 2 next week.
And I won't be there because I'm not certified for much else. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm so glad you were here for this one.
So what courses would be in part 2?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at Danny mentioned something I was going to say. Danny, I'll look back and remember. So part 2, I think we're going to have to talk about vocabulary, VIPKid vocabulary. We could talk about any of the STEAM ones if anybody else in our group is STEAM certified for any of these. Grammar, level 1. I do have a lot of that. I will tell you, I was terrified to get certified for that one because grammar is not my thing. So I've really had to study and I've learned a lot since teaching with VIPKid. Like, I'll know how to use it in sentences, but not really why we use it. Yeah, so I've had to really look into that. Leveled reading. Yeah, we'll talk about our thoughts on leveled reading. VIPKid free talk. Now, if anybody wants to see our free talk, we did a whole 40-minute collaboration. I urge you to go to week 1. Week 1 was our free talk. Go check that one out. And the TOEFL primary. So we still have quite a bit of courses that we can talk about. But yeah, guys, if you're watching, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we are going live on our weekly collaboration chats. We're going to keep Mondays at 2. I think it seems to be pretty good where we can keep switching out teachers or whoever can drop in. And anything else, guys, that you can think of?
No, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, this was great. I'm so glad you guys could come. I was a little bit worried I was going to be the only one.
Morgan, did you find out my soap dispenser hack? Did you look that up?
I didn't. I've been taking care of my 3 kids. Sorry.
It's a good one.
No, that's fine. It's just a helpful hint.
Oh, well, I will check it out. This is nap time. This is when I usually check out, but I'm here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not putting pressure on you. I just thought it was really funny because it was something that I thought I'm the only one who doesn't know how to do this. And then I realized a lot of people. Teacher Tim was on my live and he said it was helpful to him.
Yeah.
So that was good.
He did too. And I was like, soap? I had to go back and think about it.
So I had another hack that I did with my kids today. And they're like, you're really into these mom hacks, huh? And I'm like, yeah, actually I am.
So we have just a couple minutes really quick. Any teacher tips? The one I can think of, especially since I'm not feeling so well, my teacher tip of the week would be get some sleep. Yeah. VIPKid teachers need some sleep. So
yeah, I have a couple of videos that I'm going to do a series on. Some days are hard because some days, this is a fun job. We love it so much. We love the kids, and you're booking 2 weeks out. So you don't know how you're going to feel in 2 weeks, and I've just seen a lot of things that happen and people are just like, what do I do in this? So it is good to think of the scenario that could happen and be ready for it. Like having a cold, have some cough drops available and have whatever works for you close by, and hot tea. So have different preparations ready for you in different situations. So that's my purpose of that, series. And then there was another one, your your student may end up saying goodbye because, you know, they're leaving VIPKid, or, you
Oh,
know, they're going to another company, who knows, or they're
yeah.
stopping the classes. So my tip is to, you know, watch all the videos, because you never know what's going to happen in your life, you know, and to be as prepared as possible. Of course, I do the iPad group. So people are like, you know, my computer, oh, I spilled my coffee and I have to use my iPad and I have no idea how to use it. And
Mhm.
so many people have an iPad available, but they don't even know you have to use the HD app. So they're on the iPad group. How do I get into the class? And
Mhm.
then, you know, if you're 1 or 2 minutes in, you've got a teacher no-show, actually.
Right.
You know,
Ugh,
if you don't
that's
get
right.
into the class, it's a no-show. So those are my tips: is watch the videos, you know, be ready for what, you know, think of this could happen. What am I going to do? If this happens, what am I going to do? You know, and make a list of things that could happen from other people and learn from others, or you might have to learn from yourself. So.
So I have an idea for a group. I'm going to have to message you guys and tell me what you guys think. So it has to do with this, what we're already doing.
Okay.
So, okay, Morgan, last minute word for teacher tip.
All right. Well, since there are going to be a lot of last minute cancellations, our schedules are going to look like Swiss cheese. We might be paid for because it's a student no show, or it might be something that canceled more than 24 hours in advance. So just have something this week next to you, something that'll bring you joy, something that you can do in between classes, or something practical. Like I mentioned this morning, I am going to have my laundry right next to me. And if this fireman wants to watch me fold laundry while we're waiting for Bao Bao to show up, the fireman certainly can. It's better than usually the fireman has to listen to me try to play Adele on my ukulele. And it's
Or you can go like this, like with your dyno. If you put your dyno right in front of the camera, then
yeah,
you
I
don't
don't
have to
have
feel like they're living with you.
I don't have a platform, but I can do this and cover up my screen.
Oh yeah,
So
Oh,
that's
that
fun.
works.
Morgan.
I love that. I am
Morgan.
so not. I can't do all that stuff.
I want to learn.
I
Yeah.
will teach you, my child.
I've got my yeah, okay. I've got my cutting ready for
Perfect. I love that.
Nice.
That's what I'll be doing. So
Love it.
Yes.
all right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys all. Well, I'll see you all throughout the week for our lives. And oh yeah, I'm switching with Kelly tomorrow, so it'll be my turn tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right,
Okay.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank
Have a
you
great
so
one.
much. Thank you so much,
Bye.
Casey.
Thank you. I can never end it.